Thank you. Thank you to you. This whole episode is an expression of our appreciation for you. Welcome to the What Could Go Right podcast, where we talk about personal growth, family connections, and parenting adult kids. I'm Emily Orton.
And I am Eric Orton.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah, like Emily said, I want you to feel like this is all about you. This episode is all about you. Hopefully all of our episodes are about you, but we just want you to sit back. We're not going to ask you to do anything. We're not going to encourage you to do anything, really. We just want
to thank you.
We want you to receive our gratitude for a few minutes here. So
we're so thankful that you are here because we know that it means you care about your personal growth and you are mindful of your family connections and you're interested in strengthening those relationships with your adult kids. Parenting adult kids is a whole different game, and there aren't like a ton of books written about it the same way there are for babies, toddlers, or even when you're just expecting a baby. And yet we are parents of adult kids for so much longer than we are parents to the kids who live in our homes. And when we can create peace in our own heart, in our own marriages, and in our own families, we are the starting points for peace on earth. And we're just so thankful that you are interested in keeping your heart soft, being open to growing, and encouraging all the people around you.
I just want to say thank you for the way, like Emily said, the way that you're taking care of yourself. Also, I want to thank for those of you that are in marriages for the way that you're taking care of your spouse and the way that you're nurturing and working on your marriage, because that is a big deal. It takes a lot of effort and energy to nurture and cultivate a marriage over the long haul. And for those of you that are doing that, I thank you. And for those of you that are maybe not in a marriage for any variety of reasons, thank you for persevering, for putting one foot in front of the other and continuing to strive to live your best life, because that also is its own kind of challenge. And so thank you for doing that. And for you parents, man, thanks for raising a family. Thanks for taking care of your kids, whether they're young, teenagers, or adults. Thanks for doing that, because we get to live in the society that you're helping shape. We get to live in the communities that you're helping build up through your children, through your families, through yourself and your marriage. And so Emily and I are grateful for that.
When I was 5 or 6 years old, I used to be in a little singing group called the Youngins. And I remember a couple of things. One is that we wore reversible vests. And the other
so fly.
And the other is that we sang a song that I didn't really understand at the time. And the lyrics went, if more people were for people and people everywhere, there'd be a lot less people to worry about and a lot more people to care. And I understand now that it means if you are a people first person and you are striving to strengthen relationships, then that decreases the number of problems in the world. And it just makes the world a better place for all of us to live in. And so thank you for being intentional and deliberate about your relationships. And thank you so much for your courage to dream big and to consider stepping outside of your comfort zone. I actually heard Chris Pratt recently talking. I don't know if he said this recently, but I recently heard it. He was at some award ceremony, and he said, a lot of people might tell you you're perfect, but nobody's perfect. And the fact that we know that nobody is perfect means we all have room to grow, but growing can be uncomfortable and it can feel scary and it takes a lot of courage. And so I just want to really thank you and say how much I appreciate it, because when you act courageously and try new things, and try to say, hey, I'm not perfect and I want to become better in any area of my life, that makes you better. It improves all of your relationships, and it also gives someone else the courage to give it a try. It just has a ripple effect. And so we're really thankful that you are willing to stick that toe outside of your comfort zone. It makes the whole world a better place.
I also want to get a little bit specific here about some of the things that I and I think Emily and I are specifically grateful for. A lot of times we don't get to meet you face to face. We hope we do.
We love it when you send us letters, and we can share more about that later.
So what I was going to say is I'm really grateful for all the people that have read our book and dropped us a note. Our email is in the back. We love hearing from you. We love hearing your life stories and hearing what was helpful to you from the book. So for everyone that's read Seven at Sea and written a review on Amazon, or sent us an email, or shared a copy with a friend, or requested it at your library, or whatever, thank you. Thank you for reaching out to us and letting us know. Because a lot of times we put stuff out into the world, and it's just, from our side, it's a little bit of a, it's just like going into a vacuum. But we trust that you're there. But whenever we do hear back, we're so grateful. So thanks for reaching out there. Thanks.
And I want to say about the book, what we've learned from putting our story out there is that when you dream big, other people feel safer sharing their dreams with you. And that's one of the things we're grateful to you for, because you write us emails, you send us DMs, you write reviews on Amazon and tell us how this is helping you dream more boldly and live more intentionally. And then as you do that, then people will come to you and say, oh, you did this thing? Well, I kind of have an idea. And then you're able to be the one to say to them, you should totally do that. You could definitely do that. It's not going to be as hard as you think. It's going to be easier than you think. And it's going to be way more fun and more meaningful and valuable than you ever imagined. And I'm speaking from a place of authority because I've also, crossed that threshold of fear into the life I really want.
Yeah. Well, a couple of other things on my mental list, I'm going to keep going here. I'm thankful for all the people that have invited us to speak over the years. We love doing it. We love being in person with you. We love sharing something from us that hopefully helps you. And we love meeting you in person, shaking your hands and swapping stories. And it's just such a fun time. And so to all the people that have invited us to speak, thank you. And for everyone that's been in the audiences and participated in those conversations, thank you.
Yeah, thanks to everyone who showed up at our retreats, whether it's a couples retreat or a parenting seminar. You have been so vulnerable and so honest with us and really helped us see the goodness of your hearts and your desires to bless your families and strengthen your marriages, and recognizing and just sharing your joy with us as you recognize that you pursuing the things you're interested in is such a blessing to those around you. And it doesn't always seem that way when you're a parent. Sometimes it feels like you need to put yourself last. So thanks for showing up and being vulnerable and being willing to have the new idea that putting yourself in front as the leader can actually be a blessing to you and your families.
Two other things for me. I'll say, one, thanks for trusting us to take you sailing. For those of you that have gotten on a boat with us, it's no joke. Some of you show up and you're like, I have no idea what's happening. All I know is that we needed to show up here at this time on this day and haven't looked at anything else. And you just trust us. I don't want to say blindly, but
to feed you.
But you trust that there's going to be food. You trust that the boat's going to be comfortable. You trust that we're going to keep you safe, that we're going to have fun, that you're going to learn stuff. So thanks for trusting us to take you out on the water, because we love to do it. I love to do it. I love introducing you to a world that might be a little foreign, a little bit scary to you, or if you're an experienced sailor, fine. We love taking you out and having that amazing opportunity to live on the water for a while and to come into a new place within yourself. It's really satisfying. So thanks to those of you that have trusted us to do that. And then, oh boy, now.
Well, I was going to say, and especially thanks for the people who come sailing with us, that they actually very often try new things, have never been in an ocean or have never gone snorkeling. And I've seen you be so humble and so brave to be willing to put your face and eventually your whole body and eventually your whole heart into the water. And it's such a joy for me particularly to see, because I went through the exact same transformation about a decade ago and it changed my life. And it's such a pleasure to see you be willing to share your newfound enthusiasm and bravery when you come on these trips with us.
And I'll just say, I'm grateful to every person that has signed up for a discovery call because it's a little bit of a risk. I mean, nobody's going to get hurt. It's not like an injury risk, but it's an emotional risk to commit to a time and, a date and a time to talk to somebody that we may or may not have met in person beforehand, but you are willing to hop on a call for 20 or 30 minutes. And we go a little bit deep, a little bit fast sometimes. Not always, but we get to some amazing stuff. And so I'm grateful for you being willing to take that chance, take that step, and have a direct conversation with us. We're happy to talk to you. You can just keep the earbuds in or listen in the car, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. That's fine. We love you. When you sign up for a call and we get a chance to meet you directly, person to person, that's such a treat for us. I hope you know that. And it's not an imposition. We do it as much as we can. We have our limitations, but thank you for those of you that have done that. Thank you. And whether we end up doing anything beyond that, whether it's coaching or sailing or anything like that or not, totally cool. We are just so grateful for these little moments to be in your life, hopefully add some value, do some good, help you feel a little bit better about who you are and where you're going. And so I just want to thank you. And also just thanks for listening. We don't always know who you are, and that's okay. You might prefer it that way, but we are grateful that you're there because if you weren't, this would be a lot less fun.
That's true. Well, we hope that you have a really fun day. And we know the thing that makes it the most fun is when we're at peace with ourselves and with our community. And so we hope for you today that you can know that at least from us, we really appreciate what you're doing. We know what it's like. We know how hard it can be, how mundane it can sometimes be. And we know that you're still just moving forward one day at a time, hopefully taking the breaks and the rests when you need them so that you can keep going. The world needs you, and your big ideas matter, and your hopes and dreams matter, and your relationships matter, and you matter. You're at the heart of all of that.
Thank you for asking what could go right in your own life and for the people that you care about. Have a great Thanksgiving.